Chosen one, listen closely. This message is not by accident, not by coincidence, not by some random scroll you stumbled upon. It has been drawn to you like iron to a magnet, like a flame to a wick, because heaven has marked you as evidence. You are the proof that God still moves in secret ways, the living testimony that destiny cannot be erased. You have walked through storms others would not have survived. You have carried silence in rooms where your very presence was misunderstood, and yet you still remain. That is no accident. That is a prophetic clue. When the hand of God rests upon someone, it shows in ways they can't explain, but the world cannot deny. And you, chosen one, are carrying 7 such clues within and around your life. You may not always recognize them. Sometimes they appear like whispers in the night. Sometimes like obstacles that make no sense. Sometimes like blessings that arrive too suddenly to be explained. But make no mistake, they are evidence. Evidence that heaven has stamped you as chosen, sealed you for a mission, and set you apart in ways that cannot be reversed. This is not about arrogance or superiority. This is about alignment with destiny. The Father does not choose at random. He chooses with precision, with divine foresight, with eyes that see generations ahead. And you, chosen one, have been seen. That's why people react strangely around you. That's why your life has taken paths that others cannot trace. That's why you feel the ache of carrying something bigger than yourself. Tonight, this word comes to remind you, you are not lost. You are not forgotten. You are not ordinary. You are evidence. Evidence that prayers of ancestors still echo. Evidence that promises written long ago are now unfolding. Evidence that the kingdom is not theory. It is alive in flesh and bone, in spirit and breath, in you. What's about to be revealed will shake your memory and awaken your spirit, because the 7 prophetic clues that heaven has placed around your journey are not random, they are signposts. Each one is a living confirmation that your existence is a message, your story is a prophecy, and your very breath is a signal to heaven and earth alike. Stay with me. In just a moment, I will begin unveiling these truths one by one. They will pierce through the fog of confusion. They will make sense of the opposition you've endured. And they will prove that you are standing in a story so much larger than yourself. Chosen one, your life is heaven's evidence, and soon you will see why. It is not by human lips that this message is breathed, but by the Spirit who watches over every step you take. What you are hearing now is not just encouragement, it is revelation. There is a reason the words seem to pierce beyond the surface, as if they were written with you in mind, because they are. The Ancient One, the keeper of all timelines, has released this word for you in this very moment. Every sentence has been timed with precision. Every pause, every image, every truth you are about to receive is stitched into your destiny with threads of light. Heaven speaks in ways that bypass logic and touch the soul directly. And right now, your soul is being addressed. You may have wondered why certain patterns repeat in your life, why certain numbers seem to follow you, why you encounter the same message in different places, as if the universe is echoing it, until you finally turn your head. These are not coincidences, they are whispers from the divine, aligning you with the rhythm of heaven. Do not take this lightly. This is not entertainment. This is not noise. This is a sacred encounter, a window opening at just the right time. You are being drawn into a current far stronger than your own will. And the one who holds the current is inviting you to recognize what has already been written. You see, divine messages don't arrive when life is calm. They arrive when life is trembling, when the ground beneath you feels unstable, when the weight of uncertainty grows too heavy. That is the moment the Spirit steps in, because it is in that trembling space that you are most ready to hear. And right now, you are ready. Ready to know that your struggles were never in vain, that the nights of silence were never wasted, that the unseen hand guiding you was always steady. The prophetic clues about to be unveiled are not random ideas. They are sacred confirmations. They reveal the fingerprints of God over your journey. They prove that what others dismissed as chance was actually part of a divine pattern. These 7 markers are not just signs to notice. They are seals of heaven's approval over your life. So listen closely as the current of this message carries you deeper. You are stepping into a stream of words that were waiting for you, hidden in the folds of eternity until this exact moment. They come not to flatter you, but to awaken you. They come not to make you boast, but to make you remember who walks beside you. As the veil lifts, understand this. You are not being told what you want to hear. You are being told what you were destined to hear. Each sentence is a key, unlocking chambers of memory and recognition within your spirit. Soon, you will realize why certain doors closed, why certain faces left, why certain storms raged, and why, despite all of it, you were still carried forward. The prophecy is about to be revealed. The clues will no longer remain hidden, and as each one unfolds, you will feel the undeniable certainty that heaven itself has been keeping record of your life. The air itself seems to lean in as the veil begins to part. What was once blurred in shadow starts to take form, like a picture emerging in a dark room. The prophecy is not about a single event, but about the unveiling of your life's alignment with heaven's timeline. The evidence is not only in what you have endured, but in what is about to manifest. The first revelation is this: you are entering a season where hidden things will be brought to light. For years, there have been words spoken behind your back, schemes plotted in silence, attempts to diminish your worth. You felt the sting of betrayal and the confusion of rejection, but here is the prophecy: you will see vindication with your own eyes. What was concealed will be exposed. What was stolen will be restored. Those who misread you will witness the truth written across your life. But the prophecy doesn't end with exposure. The second revelation is even greater. A new door, previously sealed shut, will begin to open. This door is not made of wood or stone. It is woven from opportunity, destiny, and divine timing. It will swing wide in a way no human hand could engineer. The moment it opens, you will recognize it, because everything in your spirit will resonate like a bell struck by heaven itself. The third revelation is the anointing you carry will become undeniable. You have tried to explain it before, but words fell short. You have felt it in flashes, in your intuition, in your dreams, in the way your presence shifts atmospheres without effort. Soon, this will not be something only you feel. Others will begin to sense it as well. They won't have language for it, but they will know something about you is not ordinary. That is because your life is prophetic evidence, and evidence cannot remain hidden forever. The fourth revelation is more sobering. The battles ahead will not be less intense, but you will stand taller in them. The prophecy does not promise an end to the storm. It promises that the storm will no longer break you. What once made you tremble will now make you roar. Where you once questioned if you could endure, you will now walk with assurance that endurance has already been etched into your being. The fifth revelation is tied to timing. You will begin to notice divine appointments, moments where you are in the right place at the right time, meeting the right person, hearing the right word. These are not accidents. They are prophetic alignments, designed to remind you that the author of your story has never lost control of the pen. Every step you take will echo louder. Every choice will carry weight, because you will know you are walking in sync with heaven's rhythm. And the sixth revelation, it is this: you will find your voice. Not the voice you use to survive, not the voice you use to please, but the voice that carries your authority. It is the sound that comes when you stop apologizing for existing and begin declaring the truth that was stitched into you before birth. When this voice rises, it will not just change how you speak, it will shift how people listen. It will call forth what was dormant and command what was resistant. Finally, the seventh revelation completes the prophecy. Your life itself will become a sign. You will not need to strive to prove anything. Simply by walking, breathing, and living authentically, You will become undeniable evidence of God's promise fulfilled. Others will look at you and see that miracles still happen, that grace still selects the unlikeliest vessels, that destiny still overrules despair. Do not be surprised if you feel a trembling inside as you hear these words. That trembling is not fear, it is recognition. Deep within, your spirit has known all along that something larger was moving. You have felt the hints, the nudges, the uncanny timing. Now the veil is being lifted, and the prophecy is no longer hidden in riddles. It is spoken plainly. You are heaven's evidence, and the 7 prophetic clues unfolding in your journey will prove it. This is the moment where mystery begins to take shape, where whispers turn into clarity, and where your soul begins to realize it has been prepared for this unveiling all along. What comes next will not only explain the prophecy, but will reveal the depth of its meaning. Every prophecy carries layers. It is never just about events, it is about meaning. The signs and revelations that have been spoken are not random signals scattered through your life. They are threads woven into a larger tapestry, each carrying spiritual depth beyond what your natural eyes can see. Think of a seed buried in soil. To anyone passing by, it looks as though nothing is happening. The ground appears still, quiet, ordinary. But beneath the surface, roots are forming, cells are multiplying, and life is pushing against the darkness. The silence is deceptive because growth is hidden. That is how your journey has been. The waiting seasons were not wasted. They were wombs where destiny was being formed. The first layer of meaning is identity. These prophetic clues are not about titles or positions, but about who you are at the core. You have been crafted as evidence not by chance, but by design. Heaven does not need you to mimic anyone else. It needs you to embody the uniqueness etched into you. That is why your path has never looked like others. You were not created to fit their mold. You were created to stand as living proof that God's design is limitless. The second layer is timing. Every revelation carries a rhythm, just as every season carries a purpose. Spring awakens, summer expands, autumn refines, winter preserves. Your life has carried these cycles in ways you could not always explain. Times of abundance followed by times of pruning. Times of silence followed by sudden acceleration. These are not signs of instability, they are the marks of divine timing, shaping you to be ready at the right moment. The third layer is transformation. You are not the same person you were 5 years ago, or even 1 year ago. Your battles have burned away illusions, your losses have carved deeper wells of empathy, and your victories, though sometimes small, have revealed a resilience you did not know you carried. Transformation is not always loud. Sometimes it is the quiet shift where you realize you no longer break the way you once did, and this too is evidence. The fourth layer is divine testing. Trials are not punishments, they are calibrations. When a sword is forged, it is placed in fire, then struck, then placed back into fire again. This process is not cruelty, it is refinement. You have been in fires that made no sense, but the purpose was never to destroy you. It was to strengthen you until the steel of your spirit could no longer be bent by ordinary pressures. These prophetic clues serve as confirmation that every fire had a purpose, and every purpose carried a promise. The fifth layer is alignment. The signs that echo through your life, the numbers, the repeated messages, the divine appointments are not random noise. They are the alignment of heaven with your steps. Alignment is when your small choices begin to ripple into larger outcomes, when a simple yes or no shifts entire timelines. It is the reminder that you are not wandering without direction. You are being guided into alignment with something larger than yourself. The sixth layer is responsibility. Evidence is not passive, it carries weight. To be marked as evidence means your life will inspire, confront, and convict others without you trying. This is both a gift and a responsibility. It means that how you carry yourself matters, your integrity matters, your faith matters. Even in private moments when no one is watching, heaven is shaping you because others will one day look to you as proof that God still speaks through ordinary lives. And finally, the seventh layer is hope. Prophecies are not given to frighten or confuse, they are given to sustain. Hope is the fuel of destiny, the fire that keeps you walking even when the path is unclear. These prophetic clues serve as reminders that you are never abandoned, that your future is not empty, and that the author of your story has already written the chapters you cannot yet see. So when you look back at your struggles, see them not as random pain but as part of a divine curriculum. When you feel the pull of mystery, understand it as heaven drawing you deeper into awareness. When the signs keep repeating, recognize them as confirmations that you are aligned with the eternal rhythm. You are walking through layers of meaning far richer than you realize. Each revelation, each sign, each moment of endurance has been sculpting your spirit for something greater. The prophecy is not just about the future, it is about what is already unfolding in you right now. And as this meaning sinks deeper into your soul, the next stage becomes clear. The signs of confirmation, the tangible, undeniable signals that will appear around you, affirming that everything you've heard is not imagination, but manifestation. When heaven marks a life, there are always confirmations. They may not arrive with trumpets or lightning in the sky, but they carry a weight that cannot be denied. They slip into your days like gentle nudges, like echoes that refuse to fade, like divine fingerprints left on ordinary moments. These signs are not accidents. They are whispers that say, yes, this word is for you. Yes, you are on the path. Yes, you are evidence. The first sign comes through repetition. Perhaps you notice the same phrase spoken in different places, or the same scripture rising before your eyes, or the same numbers appearing again and again. It is as if the universe refuses to let you forget. This is not coincidence. It is confirmation. Repetition is heaven's way of drawing your attention, saying, pay close attention here. This is part of your clue. The second sign comes through resistance. Have you noticed how the moments you step closer to your purpose, opposition seems to intensify? People may misunderstand you, circumstances may tighten, unexpected difficulties may rise up. This is not because you are cursed, but because the light you carry disrupts the comfort of darkness. Resistance is a sign. It means you are pressing against something real, something worth fighting for. The third sign arrives in the form of divine encounters. A stranger says something that speaks directly to your situation. An old friend reappears at the exact moment you needed guidance. A door you thought was locked suddenly opens when you had given up trying. These moments are not random alignments, they are divine appointments, confirmations that you are being guided by a hand greater than your own. The fourth sign comes through dreams and inner impressions. In the stillness of sleep, your spirit is unguarded, and heaven speaks in symbols, images and feelings. You may wake with a word ringing in your ears, or with a vision you cannot shake. Even during the day, you may sense an inner knowing, a gentle pull toward or away from something. These impressions are not illusions. They are confirmations meant to sharpen your discernment. The fifth sign is transformation itself. You catch yourself responding differently than before. Where anger once rose quickly, patience now holds steady. Where fear once ruled, courage begins to stir. You realize that you are not who you were, and that change is not forced, it is flowing. That is a confirmation that the prophecy is alive within you, reshaping you from the inside out. And finally, the sixth sign is peace in the midst of chaos, not the absence of storms, but the presence of calm in the center of them. You may not know why, but somehow you feel held, steady, protected, even when everything around you seems unstable. That peace is not natural, it is supernatural. It is heaven's seal, the whisper that says, you are not alone, I am with you, and this path is secure. As these confirmations weave themselves into your days, remember they are not meant to overwhelm, but to reassure. They are not meant to confuse, but to affirm. Each one is a marker along the path, reminding you that the clues are real, the prophecy is true, and the one who promised has not forgotten. And yet, with every confirmation comes another truth. Before fulfillment, there are challenges, not to break you, but to prove the strength that has already been placed within you. Before the promise comes to full bloom, there are always shadows that try to smother the seed. These shadows appear as hidden challenges, not to destroy you, but to refine you. Think of them as the final tests before promotion, the proving ground where your faith and endurance are sharpened into unshakable strength. One challenge you may face is isolation. Not everyone can walk the road you are on, and so, at times, you will feel alone. Invitations may stop coming, familiar faces may distance themselves, and conversations that once flowed may now feel empty. This loneliness is not abandonment, it is consecration. You are being set apart so that you can hear more clearly, see more deeply, and stand more firmly. Another challenge is misunderstanding. People may misinterpret your silence as arrogance, your boldness as rebellion, your discernment as paranoia. They may assign motives to you that never lived in your heart. This is painful. But remember, misunderstanding is often the badge of the prophetic. Those who carry sight beyond the ordinary will always appear strange to those who only see the surface. A third challenge is weariness. The waiting seasons stretch longer than expected, the breakthroughs feel delayed, and your spirit sometimes groans under the weight of patience. Weariness whispers that perhaps you misheard, perhaps you are forgotten, perhaps it would be easier to give up. But in these moments, you must remember the delay is not denial. The hidden challenge of weariness is training you to draw strength from wells deeper than circumstances. Then comes the challenge of spiritual resistance. Unseen forces rise against those who walk in divine assignment. Old temptations resurface. Unexplainable heaviness presses down. Confusion tries to cloud your mind. These are not signs of weakness, they are evidence that your presence in the battlefield matters. The resistance confirms that your movement shakes realms beyond what you can see. And there is the challenge of surrender. Sometimes the most difficult test is laying down what you thought your life would look like, and embracing what heaven has designed instead. Surrender feels like loss, but it is actually the key that unlocks the greater. Every time you release what is lesser, you make room for what is eternal. These hidden challenges may sting, but they do not signify failure. They are not punishments, they are purifications. They strip away what is unnecessary, so that when the blessing arrives, you are not only ready to receive it, but also strong enough to carry it without it crushing you. Do not despise these challenges. Do not interpret them as rejection. They are part of the evidence. They reveal that your journey is not shallow or easy, but weighty with purpose. The storm does not rage around empty vessels, it rages around the ones carrying treasure. And through each challenge, a deeper instruction is waiting. The Spirit does not simply show you what is coming, He equips you with how to walk through it. That is the next stage, divine instruction, given not to overwhelm, but to empower. If prophecy reveals what is coming, then instruction reveals how to walk toward it. Without guidance, revelation can feel overwhelming. But with guidance, it becomes a map, one that leads you through valleys, over mountains, and straight into the promise designed for you. The divine instruction that follows is not merely suggestion, it is preparation. It is heaven's way of saying, you are not left to figure this out on your own. Here is how to carry the weight of what has been spoken. The first instruction is to guard your atmosphere. What you consume, what you allow into your mind, and who you let speak into your spirit will shape the quality of your walk. There are words you must no longer tolerate, voices you must no longer entertain, and environments you must no longer linger in. Your spirit is too sensitive, your mission too critical, to allow pollution to cloud your clarity. Guarding your atmosphere is not isolation, it is cultivation. You are tending the soil where the prophecy is planted. The second instruction is to practice discernment daily. Not every opportunity is divine, and not every open door leads to destiny. Some doors are distractions dressed as blessings. You must learn to pause, to ask, to listen for the still, small voice that confirms or cautions. Discernment is not suspicion, it is alignment. It teaches you to recognize the difference between what glitters and what is truly gold. The third instruction is to strengthen your prayer life. Prayer is not ritual, it is lifeline. It is the place where strategies are whispered, where battles are fought in silence, where burdens are lifted before they ever take root in your body. The instruction is not simply to pray more, but to pray deeper. To pray not only for outcomes, but for alignment. To pray not only for blessings, but for capacity to steward them. The fourth instruction is to fast from distractions. This does not always mean food, though sometimes it will. More often, it means fasting from noise, from endless scrolling, from shallow conversations, from patterns that drain your energy without feeding your soul. Fasting is subtraction for the sake of multiplication. When you set aside what numbs you, you make room for what revives you. The fifth instruction is to walk in obedience, even when it costs. There will be moments when what God asks of you seems inconvenient, uncomfortable, or even illogical. Yet obedience is the key that unlocks divine timing. Each act of obedience writes agreement into the story of your life. Each yes, even in small things, prepares you for the weight of greater things. The sixth instruction is to cultivate gratitude in all seasons. Gratitude is not denial of difficulty, it is declaration of trust. When you choose gratitude in the valley, you disarm despair. When you choose gratitude in abundance, you anchor yourself in humility. Gratitude shifts the atmosphere inside you, making space for joy to take root, even in unexpected soil. And the seventh instruction is to declare the word over your life. Speak it aloud. Let your ears hear what heaven has already spoken. Words are not empty, they are creative forces. When you declare light, light responds. When you declare peace, peace is stirred. When you declare promise, promise begins to shape reality. Do not underestimate the power of your voice. It is one of your most sacred weapons. These divine instructions may feel weighty, but they are also freeing. They remind you that you are not helpless, not drifting, not left without tools. You are equipped. You are being trained, not merely to receive a blessing, but to sustain it. Without instruction, even the greatest promise can wither. With instruction, even the smallest seed can flourish. So take these words as heaven's strategy for your next season. Write them down, keep them close, and walk them out daily. They will not only prepare you for what is coming, but they will protect you from what would try to steal it. And as you follow these sacred steps, remember, you do not walk alone. For where instruction is given, protection is also promised. Instruction would feel heavy if it were not paired with protection. The one who calls you does not simply hand you a mission and then step aside. No, he surrounds you, covers you, and walks with you. The same hand that points you forward is the hand that shelters you from what would have destroyed you. Imagine walking into a storm with a shield that cannot be pierced. Rain may pour, winds may howl, but the shield absorbs every blow. That is what divine protection looks like. You may still feel the tremors of life, but you will not be undone by them. You may hear the roar of opposition, but it will not devour you. Heaven's assurance is this: nothing formed against you will prosper. Protection often shows up in ways you do not immediately recognize. Sometimes it is a delay that keeps you from entering the wrong place at the wrong time. Sometimes it is a closed door that leaves you frustrated, only for you to later realize that it saved you from disaster. Sometimes it is the intuition that urges you to pause, to leave, to wait. These are not accidents, they are shields. And there are moments when protection comes as unseen intervention. How many times have you been spared from danger without ever knowing it? A near miss on the road, a decision that seemed small but shifted everything, a heaviness lifted when someone was praying for you in secret. Protection is not always visible, but it is constant. With protection comes assurance, Assurance is the peace that anchors your soul even when circumstances are shaking. It is the quiet voice that says, "You are safe, you are held, you are not walking this path unguarded." Assurance is what allows you to keep moving when fear would rather paralyze you. And in case doubt tries to whisper otherwise, remember this: your assignment is too valuable for heaven to leave you uncovered. You are not wandering through the dark hoping for safety. You are carried by light that cannot be extinguished. Angels are stationed on your behalf. The Spirit Himself intercedes for you with groans too deep for words. And the covenant of God is not fragile, it is eternal. So when anxiety rises, let this truth settle you: you are protected. When uncertainty looms, let this whisper steady you: you are assured. When opposition surrounds you, let this shield remind you: you are covered. And with that covering in place, you are free to step boldly into the next stage, the transformation that awaits when prophecy reaches fulfillment. When the storm has passed and the testing has finished its work, there comes a moment unlike any other, the moment of transformation. It is not a single instant, but a shift that gathers slowly until suddenly you realize everything has changed. The signs, the challenges, the instructions, the protection, they all converge here, at the place of fulfillment. Transformation is first felt within. You wake up one day and notice the heaviness you carried for years is no longer there. Old wounds no longer sting when you think about them. The bitterness that once clung to your spirit has dissolved into compassion. You realize that what used to trigger you no longer has power. That is not just maturity, it is evidence of a deeper work. Heaven has been reshaping you, carving strength into your bones, writing wisdom into your soul. Then transformation begins to radiate outward. People who once overlooked you start to notice. Situations that once drained you now fuel you. Opportunities that once slipped through your hands now seem to come looking for you. It is not luck, it is alignment. The invisible has shifted, and the visible begins to catch up. Fulfillment does not mean your life becomes perfect. It means your life becomes purposeful. The battles you endured now become testimonies you share. The scars you once hid now shine as proof that healing is real. What once brought shame now carries authority, because you can speak not from theory but from victory. In this season of fulfillment, gratitude will overflow. You will look back at the nights you thought would break you and realize they were classrooms. You will remember the people who left and realize they were never meant to carry the weight of your calling. You will see how the detours, the delays, and even the disappointments were actually rerouted paths leading you to exactly where you needed to be. And perhaps the most profound part of transformation is this: you will recognize yourself as evidence, not in arrogance, but in awe. You will see how your life stands as living proof that God is still faithful, that His promises do not expire, that His word does not return void. Others will see it too. Without preaching a single sermon, your very existence will testify. There will be moments where tears rise, not tears of sorrow, but tears of holy recognition, tears that say, "I made it. I didn't think I would, but I did. And it wasn't by my strength, but by His hand." That is the fulfillment of prophecy, not just the arrival of blessings, but the awakening of realization. And from that place of realization, a new confidence will emerge, not the kind that shouts, but the kind that stands steady. You will know who you are, what you carry, and where you are going. And no voice of doubt, no attack of the enemy, no storm of circumstance will be able to shake it from you. This is the destiny waiting at the end of the unveiling. This is the transformation that turns trials into triumphs, pain into power, scars into songs. And when you step into it fully, you will know that every prophetic clue was true, every sign was real, and every word spoken over your life was preparing you for this very moment. And now, as this message begins to close, there remains one final gift to seal everything you have heard. Affirmations and blessing, words you can carry with you like armor for the soul. You have walked through the unfolding of revelation, felt the depth of its meaning, recognized the signs, endured the hidden challenges, received the instruction, and now stood in the glow of transformation. There is only one thing left: to seal it. Words spoken in faith are not empty. They are seeds, they are shields, they are flames that cannot be extinguished. So let these affirmations settle into your spirit. Speak them aloud, whisper them when you wake, carry them through your day, let them anchor you when the night feels long. Affirmation 1. I am living evidence of heaven's promise. Not a theory, not a question, not a shadow, but proof. Every breath I take testifies to divine intention. Affirmation 2. I am covered, protected, and guided in every step I take. No weapon formed against me will prosper. No storm will overtake me. No darkness will smother my light. Affirmation 3. I walk in divine timing and alignment. What is for me will not miss me. What is delayed will not be denied. Every step is synchronized with heaven's rhythm. Affirmation 4. I am transformed, and my life will never be the same again. The old has passed, the new has come, and I will rise into the fullness of who I was created to be. Let these words be more than phrases. Let them be declarations. Each time you speak them, you agree with heaven. Each time you repeat them, you strengthen your spirit. Each time you believe them, you activate what has already been written in your story. And now, a blessing to seal everything that has been spoken. May you walk in unshakable peace, knowing that you are never alone. May your path be illuminated with clarity, your steps ordered with precision, and your spirit guarded with strength. May every prophetic clue revealed to you in this message take root in your life, blossoming into evidence that cannot be denied. May your battles turn into testimonies, your scars into songs, your waiting into wisdom. May you rise each day with courage and rest each night with assurance. And may your life stand as undeniable proof that God is faithful, His word is true, and His love never fails. Go forward in strength. Go forward in peace. Go forward as living evidence.